So yeah, what happened this week? Nintendo put pre-orders up for the Switch in the middle of night for American people. They sold out, and they haven't had new stock since. Remember, they said we're going to have more stock than last time. I think it actually is 16 more. That's it. All of a sudden you see sales of the Switch not being very competitive. It's because people have given up on Nintendo. I mean, they won't have, because Odyssey will probably get enough in for the holiday season. So if it turns out to be a crap game, that'll be awkward. So, everything that got shown off at Gamescom. So, in terms of Blizzard stuff, they were announcing and sort of unveiling Hearthstone's first co-op raid, which apparently the people at Gamescom managed to beat even before the thing actually went live this past Friday. So that's good. There was also a nice little animation Hearthstone related as well. Will be in some comics and stuff. Then Heroes of the Storm with Kel'Thuzad is going to be in it. With a documentary coming this week apparently, and a big launch event. Then we've got World of Warcraft stuff. Basically just talking about patches rather than anything. But it certainly seems to be a substantial update with new playable regions and stuff getting incorporated in. Then we had a new in-game cinematic apparently from World of Warcraft. Then Overwatch, talking about how they've got 30 million players. And then we had the new May animation, which was pretty damn nice. And then that was it. But really, the animations that they did, the Hearthstone thing, was pretty awesome. The Overwatch animation was good. The cinematic, I guess, which is the new patch for Legion, was good. And, okay, nothing substantially announced. But, you know, hopefully there'll be something. Bethesda announced Skyrim VR coming November 17th to the PlayStation platform. Seems to be exclusive to there, at least for now. Doom VFR coming 1st of December to Vive and PSVR. Again, I think that's timed exclusive and it might come to Oculus Rift. There's no official confirmation on that. It is believed to be. And then Fallout VR coming actually all before that on the 12th of October. So just over a month, about 6 weeks to go. So then the Microsoft stuff. So with this, they started with a CGI trailer for Assassin's Creed Origins, which looked nice, but really sort of nothing else. PlayerUnknown's Battleground has got 8 million players. Incorporating that there is going to be a publishing deal, so Microsoft will be officially publishing PlayerUnknown's Battleground on the Xbox One. It's not going to be sort of indie support or whatever. Then we had an exclusive trailer for Jurassic Park Evolution, which is interesting. It's from Frontier, the guys that brought you Elite Dangerous and, probably more appropriately, Planet Coaster, because it's basically a park management sim. you're going to manage Jurassic World. I'd prefer the original Jurassic Park or whatever. But considering how much, I think it's Jurassic Park Operation Genesis is treated with a very cult following for its release, I think it was PS2 and PC. Might have been on other consoles as well. Those are the two that I remember anyway. Mainly because the Jurassic Park one is always too expensive on the second-hand market, at least on PS2. So that's coming next year, probably to coincide with the sequel movie coming out. So yeah, Jurassic World Evolution doesn't look too bad. Looks interesting. Halo 5's getting 4K update along with, their other big games, including Quantum Break. And they were stressing, oh look, you can play Quantum Break in 4K. Nobody played it in the first place because they weren't interested. Hell, it was that good. Remedy's next game isn't going to be console exclusive because they got burned that much by the Xbox One's launch and everything that happened with it. With the whole TV thing that was going to be a big thing, and then Xbox didn't want it. So then the TV stuff that they were doing for their game really knocked you out of the loop, which was an issue. Then they officially confirmed the leak that ReCore Definitive Edition is coming out. This coming Tuesday, August 29th. It's graphics and everything, and also that there is new expansion content that wasn't in the first game. Which is interesting because basically a lot of the reviews said there wasn't a lot to do. So if this was cut just for whatever reason and is now being added in this late, sort of weird options to do. I don't know. And for people that already have the game via Xbox One and whatever, or I think PC. They didn't really specify that. They were just talking about Xbox because, thanks guys, not everybody has an Xbox. Some people do have Windows 10 PCs. I mean, I don't, but I know that people do. They've said that this 4K update and everything is free to people that already have it. And if people try out Game Pass or sign up to Game Pass, I believe the 4K ReCore edition is part of that stuff, so there's a nice little thing. They also talked about the Age of Empires HD remake, which is going to be 4K, and then kids games like Disneyland Adventures, Rush, I think it was called. Let me actually go to my other notes that I actually made at the time. Yeah, Disneyland Adventures, Rush, and Zoo Tycoon coming out at the end of October. And they were stressing these games are going to be 4K, plus you can play them either with a controller or with the Kinect. Who still has a Kinect? Who does? I mean, I don't want a show of hands, but it's like that really, I don't know, just boo. Super Lucky's Tale coming November 7th, which looks alright. There's also going to be a new expansion coming in a couple of months for Halo Wars 2 with a new campaign and flood and everything, and also, from what I remember, sort of esports multiplayer stuff. Or was that the other game? Anyway, there is over 100 titles that are going to be Xbox One enhanced. Going through some of the titles, Assassin's Creed Origin, we sort of expected. Below, is that even out yet? Conan Exiles, Dead Rising 4, Darksiders 3, when that comes out, Diablo 3, Dishonored 2, and the Dishonored 2 DLC, FIFA and Madden, F1 2017 Farming Simulator, because of course, Final Fantasy 15, Fallout 4, Forza Horizon, Forza Motorsport, For Honor, Firewatch, Halo, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2, Hand of Fate 2, the Hitman game, Homefront: The Revolution, really, Killer Instinct, Killing Floor 2, The Life is Strange sequel, Mafia 3, Shadow of War, Minecraft, obviously, NBA 2K18, the new Need for Speed game, Payback, Pro Evo Soccer, Quantum Break, LOL, Resident Evil 7, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Rocket League, Battlefront 2, the new one, not the old one, Sonic Forces. So it isn't. That implies that Sonic Forces isn't a Nintendo exclusive. That's pretty good. Because I'm fearing it was. Because the only time we saw a sign of it was on the bloody Switch thing. Super Hot, Skyrim, Special Edition, Witcher 3, Titanfall 2, World of Tanks. No, that's World of Tanks is the one that's getting the weird multiplayer. Wolfenstein 2 as well. And both Tom Clancy's The Division and Ghost Recon Wildlands. Apparently people know that they exist. Forza Motorsport 7. They actually stressed about the PC stuff here. There's going to be some trucks in it. It's going to have native 4K and everything. There's like 15 different wheels supported. And they're trying to make it as accessible as possible with a pretty low capacity for entry. In terms of you only need a sort of standard powered rig in order to be able to run the thing, which is pretty interesting. They're also announcing light mode. So there isn't just dark mode, and you can now make the menus white instead of dark grey. Then the World of Tanks stuff, basically, they're doing competitive esports style stuff by the start of September, and they're adding in sort of the basis of competitive multiplayer, this coming week to head into that, I guess, to build up to it. Then they're stressing about custom controllers, apparently. Then they talk about the indie games that I guess are coming, so like Tacoma and did I make a note of all the lists? Yeah, they had Fable Fortune or whatever it is, the card game, Battle Right, Hello Neighbor, Stranger Brigade, Train Simulator, Conan Exiles, everything about that. There's also a special Minecraft skinned Xbox One S that's coming out in October. They then talked about Shadow of War with special editions coming just to Xbox One. That's probably the Totino stuff that I talked about in the last video. Cuphead, they just showed the same trailer, which they openly said actually in the trailer. Sea of Thieves is going to be getting crossplay between PC and Xbox One X, which is good to see, so it's even. And then Surviving Mars, Paradox's new simulation game coming next year. And then they showcased off the Xbox One X Project Scorpio edition, so there is going to be a super duper edition and whatever. And basically all it is bloody Major Nelson himself, Larry Herb, with white gloves on, showing you what's inside the box, which is basically a console. And the biggest thing, it's got a console stand, so you can stand it vertically rather than have it lying down. That's the biggest news. Pre-orders are alive for £450. probably $500. Don't buy it. You know, the fact of the matter is, Sony's version, with which the majority of these same games, apart from obviously the console exclusives, are probably 4K, you know, set up as well. And of course, if you don't have a 4K capable telly, or you aren't going to notice the difference, there's no point in spending another $100, $150, pounds, whatever, on it. So, the only hope, I think, if this means it's like all this stuff gets reduced. You know, we're stressing so much on the Xbox One X that the Xbox One S all of a sudden becomes cheaper, and then everybody buys that, and they don't care about the HD, and they've got all these units that nobody wants to buy because they're too expensive. The saving grace for Microsoft, and they saved it for its own thing, they've officially confirmed Age of Empires 4 is happening. Looked very good. Interestingly, though, Relic Entertainment are going to be developing, the guys behind Homeworld and Company of Heroes. With the implication being the genre of game is not going to be exactly the same as it was with the old Age of Empires. So the Age of Empires Definitive Edition now, as we know, is coming out 19th of October. And Age of Empires 4, they just basically announced it. Whether it'll be out 2018, possibly early 2019, I don't know. But yeah, I hope Relic know what they're doing here, because if you know, there's a very, very, very loyal fan base for Age of Empires. They've been waiting for years for a new game, and if they get it wrong, awkward. They've also announced that there will be definitive editions coming of Age of Empires 2 and 3. So basically the HD remakes and whatever. Because they're actual proper HD remakes rather than enhancements. Forgotten Empires, who are doing the first one that's coming out next month, or, you know, mid-October, are on hand to do 2 and 3 as well. So Relic are just going to be focusing on the new 4 one. So then Square Enix officially announced Fear Effect Reinvented, a remake of the original Fear Effect game coming out next year for PC, PS4, Xbox One and the Switch. Which is in development at Sushi, which is currently working on the Fear Effect Sedna game that was crowdfunded last year via Square Enix's support, I guess. It was on Kickstarter and everything. It was on Kickstarter, but there was a thing, if you remember, where Square Enix was basically saying, you know, if there's properties that we have which we're not interested in. Do you want to, you know, make something and whatever? And oh, that's interesting. I'm going to the Fear Effect Segments page, and it says game should be coming out May 2017. Well, I haven't heard it being out yet, so that's a bit awkward. So this Fear Effect Sedna still hasn't come out, but they've announced that whatever the new Fear Effect Reinvented is already in production and is coming out next year. And they've only done 7 devlogs on Sedna. Then again, from what they're showing of the screenshots, it does look relatively ready. It's, you know, in the last devlog from, let's have a look, August the 3rd, so basically last month. The voice acting has been recorded and cutscene animations are almost there, and they'll be soon exporting to consoles because it obviously is coming out, I think, for PS4 and Xbox One and obviously PC on Steam. So yeah. You know, hopefully Fear Effect Reinvented isn't affecting any sort of development whatsoever on the Fear Effect Sedna kickstarted game. Otherwise, that would be awkward. And then we get to EA. Because there's always EA. So they have a FIFA trailer. Then they show off Battlefront 2. And then we've got a shoutcaster along with one of the guys from Criterion, who obviously are handling the vehicle stuff for Star Wars. So basically it seems to be space battle sort of stuff, which is sort of starting on an A-wing and then TIE bombers and whatever. So it seems to be some incorporate. Basically, it's fighter squadron mode from the first, you know, from Battlefront from a few years back, but just amped up and whatever. Also, there are, by the looks of it, definitive ships, because they show off Poe Dameron's X-Wing, Darth Maul's Invisible Scimitar, and Boba Fett Slave 1 all battling into it, and then it's basically sort of phase stuff a la Battlefield 1 when you had to do multiple phases to sort of do the mission, I guess, from what I can tell. It looked nice, certainly. But part of me is worried that actually when people start playing it, they're going to be going, yeah, it's Battlefront 1, just looking slightly nicer and with different features. So who knows? So then they had a Need for Speed thing where they actually had like the car, I guess, come out of the trailer that was being broadcast and actually drive around actually in the venue or something. Which is coming in November, apparently. Let's hope it's alright. They also announced that Sims Mobile is happening, and Sims 4 is going to be coming to Xbox One and PS4. And the big announcement is we're finally incorporating cats and dogs and pets into Sims 4 with the PC version. And then apparently some bloody dog comes on stage, like a real dog. Who knows? Then we get new details on Fee. It exists. It actually does exist. They've also added that not only is it PS4 and Xbox One and PC, it's now coming to Switch. But you know, looks nice as it always does. Then new details on Battlefield 1. Apparently there's a new mode tailored towards spectating as much as it is competing. So Battlefield 1 esports, everybody. Basically it's incursions, which is 5v5. Oh yeah, that's so esports, isn't it? Oh my god. Closed alpha's coming in September. Then there were some new details from the Name of the Tsar expansion that's coming. And also, the Game of the Year edition called Battlefield Revolution. Or Battlefield 1 Revolution, who knows. So it includes the base game and all 4 expansion packs. Oh, this is the one I was going to rant about. So yeah, they brought that out and it's going to be coming out for $40. Which includes the base game and all 4 expansion packs. Which, by the way, if you've noticed, only one of the expansion packs has come out. So it's not the Game of the Year edition, and not all the content is even available because it's still in development. We still haven't had the second, which is the Name of the Tsar one, or the third or the fourth, which we don't even know the names of or what they are. Plus, everybody that bought it at launch, that got the special Super Edition with the Season Pass included, probably paid like $70 or $80. Actually, no, come to think of it, the base game I think is $40, so it's, yeah. If you look at the prices for the Season Pass version, at least on like PC, it's $20 more when you bought it new for loyalty bonuses and whatever, than it is buying it now and still coming in at the same point and still getting the same content. So all you people that bloody bought, all you people that bought it, you know, new, and now we're going to get people coming in that are joining late but getting all the same benefits as you. Awkward. Very awkward. Extremely awkward. So yeah, I guess in positive stuff, to try and leave it on that sort of like, part of me wonders why those 3 did press conferences. I mean, Blizzard stuff was probably the best of the 3, which was a lot because they didn't really show anything overwhelmingly new. I mean, I guess the Age of Empires stuff from Microsoft, but the Xbox One X stuff was really not good. Or, well, perhaps not good, but boring. And the EA stuff was boring. But in more important news, to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of BioShock, they're doing a special enhanced edition, like proper release of the game. I think there's one with like a figure and everything that's coming, and the BioShock collections are getting sort of, I guess, repackaged again for the consoles to mark the 10th anniversary of the first game. So that might be worth checking out if you can. And then also, which is something I don't even know about because it was American, starting this Monday, so probably now already, because this will probably be going up Monday, somewhere in the morning, afternoonish. Well, it starts at 11 AM Pacific, so it starts at 2 PM Eastern. Twitch, on Shout Factory TV's Twitch channel, will be broadcasting the Starcade Marathon. No, wrestling fans, it's not the WCW stuff. Apparently, back in the early 80s, at least in America, because obviously I'm not in the right country, whatever, there was a show called Starcade. And on this show, players had to compete against each other in arcade games. So you had Pac-Man battles, Donkey Kong battles, Galaga battles, Centipede battles, all those sort of things. So basically, it was the original esports, I guess, because it was broadcast on television. You know, people battling it out, sort of like the precursor to the British Games Master series, if you've ever seen that, or clips of it on YouTube and whatever. It's pretty with similar prizes as well, because like people got Walkmans rather than like big cash prizes like you would with esports now. And because it's Shout Factory, they've newly digitized the original master tapes. So some of the episodes that are going to be shown probably haven't been seen since they aired back like in the mid-80s. And yeah, I don't know how many episodes there were of that. I should probably check. Starcade. There we go. There was 133 episodes with 4 pilots. Okay. So I'm guessing they'll just be showing them on loop, because they're only 24 minutes each. Because the marathon's going on for 6 days, so I'm guessing... possibly two airings, like back-to-back sort of deal. I'm unclear on that. What I'm intrigued about, actually looking into it, the pilots that were done in 1982 were hosted by Alex Trebek of Jeopardy fame and everything. And they did, they actually apparently did broadcast them on G4 for a little bit as well, right before it merged with Tech TV in like 2004, looking into this stuff and everything. So yeah, that's an interesting thing for me to check out. They also did like special episodes with the 1983 Star Wars arcade game and Dragon's Lair and Cliffhanger. Just looking at some of the other games, it's like Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Defender, Centipede. Oh, the usual ones. Wow, this looks like a show that I'm going to enjoy the rebroadcasts of. When was the first pilot? It wasn't even the pilot. The first proper episode was December 27th, 1982. So we're nearly talking 35 years. So some of these episodes probably may not have been shown. Unless you're counting the G4 stuff, because I don't know how many episodes aired from that stuff. Some of the stuff may not have been broadcast for around 30 years. Wow. There you go. It's a longer video, everybody. But there's a lot of good stuff in this. Hope you've enjoyed it. Next week's probably at least going to be one food one, because I'm going to be busy watching some historic wrestling. Close, or somewhat close to me. At least it's a decent train ride away. There will be something gaming though, because somebody's about to do something bad or good in the next week, probably. So I shall leave you with that for now, anyway. So enjoy your week, unless you're Warner Brothers, because apparently you heard my message, because the last video got no views. Or is this a shameless plug for you to try and click on the annotation, like up there or whatever, basically saying, oh yeah, go click the watch next video, because this might be in a grouping or something, in a playlist. Stalling.